Watch out, it's the warning track.
Welcome back to another episode of The Warning Track. I am your host, Clayton McMahon. I think it's episode 12. Still not feeling 100%. You can probably hear it in my voice for anybody who's watched past episodes or me on the other shows. 2 colds in 1 month. I don't even know how that happens, but it's not holding me back. We have so much to talk about after yesterday's kind of full-ish. We had opening night on Wednesday. I kind of roasted that a little bit on Thursday's episode. We're recording this right at 10 a.m. here on Friday, March 27th. I hope you're all staying warm after it was literally 80 degrees yesterday. Even by Indiana standards, these last few weeks have just been insane. I don't even know what day, or what temperature it's going to be out. But like I said, the hot stove's officially done. We are here on the regular season, and there is so much to talk about. Closer stuff, very, very frustrating closer situation in St. Louis, I would say. I would also say with the Rays, we'll get into it, the Rays, Nationals, also had some interesting things. Some overreactions. If anybody has Paul Skeens or Aaron Judge and just want to trade them to me because you're upset about one game, then please do. Rookies, I guess I'm usually always a little skeptical about rookies in fantasy baseball. Obviously, you'll have guys like your Julios and your Paul Skeens that are fantastic. But I feel like more often than not, it usually doesn't work out. But if yesterday's any indication, this is going to be the year of the rookie. So we'll get into it. Why don't we actually just do the rookies first? So I've got the box score pulled up for the Tigers and Padres. Thankfully, my Tigers got off to a good start. I was actually able to watch the Tigers game yesterday, which made me very happy. Shout out to my dad for getting Detroit Sportsnet. I can never keep track of how they're doing the broadcast for games anymore. Excuse me. Like I said, we're definitely not 100% here. Kevin McGonigal batting 6th, playing at third base, which we'll kind of get into that in a second. I was very encouraged by that. Went 4 for 5, 2 ribbies, 2 runs, had 2 doubles. And like I said, I was able to watch the game. He did have 1 infield hit, but honestly, that was almost just impressive because he had a 30.2 30 sprint speed, which is pretty elite. And but most of his hits were pretty legit hits. He had a couple rips down the line. One of them was very, very close to being a homer. It was just like a straight line drive shot that he just absolutely crushed. But it looked fantastic. Looked absolutely fantastic. Was aggressive on the base paths. There was one, I can't remember who drove him in. It must have been Dingle or maybe it was Parker Meadows. But there was some looper. He was on second base, but there was some looper in the shallow left center where he read the ball really well because whoever was on third, he was pretty much right behind. I was very impressed with the base running there on that play, which I think is kind of a testament to just what we've seen from him in the minors. Despite his age, just a very advanced hitter, just advanced baseball player. Knows how to run the base paths efficiently and smart. That's the stuff I always love to see. And so, yeah, Tigers dominated 8-2. Skubal looked great. Got to Pivetta early, so that was nice. But Kevin McGonigal was just one of the – I guess we'll say, too, before we move on to the other ones, kind of what I was getting into is – I thought I had pulled it up here. So kind of looking at rankings from a fantasy perspective, after all, this is a fantasy show. I do not have rankings of my own. I just, quite frankly, don't have time for that. But kind of looking at the consensus rankings, at least on CBS, because he did play third base yesterday. And I could see Zach McKinstry and a couple of other guys getting some play at third base. But he's already listed as shortstop. And if he does get third base eligibility, I know each format kind of varies on how many games it would take. But to me, he's basically a consensus top 12, at least based off CBS's, which is just the 3, Scott White, Frank Stanfield, Chris Towers. Listen to him all the time. Great show. Based off of their consensus rankings, they have Royce Lewis at 12. I'm definitely taking McGonigal over him. I would say even Noelvi Marte, I would take him over. Okamoto it's just such a unique case, I guess. But I'd probably take him over Okamoto as well. So, I mean, yeah, I would say you have him at best inside the top 10, but at worst, I just don't see how you could have Royce Lewis, Isaac Paredes, Max Muncy, like I said, in my opinion, even Noelvi Marte over him. So yeah, I was very encouraged by that start. Like I said, and then also not this is really anything tangible or something you can quantify, but he just looks the part. I was actually fortunate enough. My dad and I went to a Tin Caps game last year, and we were able to see him, or was it 2 years ago? Well, either in the last year or so, we got to see McGonigal playing with the West Michigan Whitecaps, which is high A. They came into Fort Wayne to play the Tin Caps, and him and Max Clark were both on the team, so that was really cool to watch. But yeah, he just looks legit. He really does, and so I think for a Tigers fan, you have to feel good because I know for me personally, I thought their lack of offensive additions this offseason was pretty disappointing. But I mean, if McGonigal can provide that spark, there are guys, Gleyber Torres, Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter, even Torkelson. Yeah, I think it looks good. And like I said, he was far from the only rookie that dominated yesterday. So we moved to the Cardinals game. J.J. Weatherholt batting leadoff, which I think is very – I don't know if the Cardinals lineup is necessarily a world beater, but, I mean, if you're hitting leadoff in any lineup, that's very encouraging. And smacked a home run in the third inning off of Rasmussen. So also had 2 ribbies. He's listed as second base, and I guess at least in ESPN, I think he has dual eligibility there in shortstop. Yeah, second shortstop. So feel really good about that. Like I said, leading off on top of what should at least be a serviceable lineup is good. Carson Benz going to the Mets had a home run and a stolen base and 2 walks. Now he's batting 8th, but the lineup's also loaded anyway, so I feel like it really doesn't matter where you hit in that lineup. So that was encouraging. Chase DeLauder, kind of one of the later games, but Cleveland hit 2 home runs, one of them off Logan Gilbert, and he was batting 2nd in that lineup. So I feel like that could be a really good opportunity to produce a bunch of runs, hitting in front of Jose Ramirez and Kyle Manzardo. So, and then a couple other guys too, even Justin Crawford, son of Carl Crawford, second cousin of J.P. Crawford. I had no idea until this morning that J.P. Crawford is cousins with Carl Crawford, so which would make him and Justin second cousin. Where's the Phillies? He was batting 9th in their lineup, but went 2 for 4 with a run. He's also got speed potential. We didn't see it last night, but and then I guess this is maybe a little bit of cheating, but in the technical sense, he is a prospect. But Murakami, first baseman for the White Sox, hit a home run solo shot off of a reliever in the 9th inning. So that was encouraging. I feel like the White Sox have also just had a history of really good first basemen. I mean, in my lifetime, they've pretty much mostly had either Paul Konerko or Jose Abreu. So, I mean, those are 2 really, really high-end players. So, yeah, like I said, the rookie, I think that was, in my opinion, the story of the day was the rookie barrage. And that doesn't even include guys like Nolan McLean. I know he's not making his debut per se, but whenever he gets a start, Connor Griffin obviously got sent down, but a lot of people were expecting him to be up. And my guess is he probably isn't very far off. So, yeah, I thought that was really cool to see. It's always fun. I mean, I at least know from my personal perspective as a Tigers fan, there's something just about the hot new rookie just coming up that I think just energizes a team, I'm sure, and at least from my perspective, definitely energizes a fan base. While it maybe didn't quite work out the way they had hoped, I know I felt the same way when Mize and Torkelson and Green came up the past few years. There's just something about it. It's just refreshing. So excited to see where those go. Like I said, especially McGonigal. If he gets third base eligibility, then yeah, if you got him, I'm trying to remember where he went in our draft. I want to say it was around like the 16th, 17th round. So at least at the time it was maybe a little bit of a quote unquote reach. but I'd say that pick's looking pretty good right now. So I remember the guy in my hundo, the slow draft one, who took McGonigal also took Connor Griffin in like the 11th or 12th round. Now, I don't think he's gonna be down the minors long, but that was probably a little bit of a reach. Thankfully for the main opening day, not too many injuries. Matter of fact, there's only really one of note. Tanner Bybee did leave his start with right shoulder inflammation. Really no word yet on the severity or anything like that as far as I know. No recent news, even though there's there we go. Was in discomfort while warming up ahead of the bottom of the 6th and walked off with training staff. I guess we all know what pitchers are, so I wouldn't be surprised if an IL stint was incoming. Ooh, Dad's got him too. I was messing with him after the show. Looking elsewhere, I guess old closer situation was very frustrating. So we can look at my team as of yesterday, which has already changed. But I remember talking about it on a past show. So I end up drafting or picking him off the waiver wire, Riley O'Brien, Matt Swanson, and JoJo Romero. Thinking, okay, they're not really, I mean, it might end up being a true committee anyway, but best case scenario, it does get to one guy. Surely it's going to be one of these three. And then the game plays out. It was also a weird game because the Rays, I think, scored like 6 runs in the 6th inning, and then the Cardinals scored 8 runs in the 6th inning. So this may be part of that, but Matt Swanson entered in the 6th, gave up 3 earned runs, did not look good, so he's no longer on the squad. JoJo Romero came in the top of the 7th, or the beginning of the 7th inning for the Cardinals. Gave up 2 hits, but no earned runs, and then Riley O'Brien entered in the 7th inning as well, relieving Romero, and pitched 1 1/3. No earned runs, ended up actually getting the win. But of all people, it was Ryan Stanek who came in the 9th and did get the save. So while I know he's probably the elder statesman reliever there, I don't think he's ever really gotten save opportunity. Yeah, I guess in 2024 it looks like he did with the Mariners. I don't remember that. Andres Munoz must have been hurt because Munoz was definitely still there at the time. But, I mean, if you look at the FIPS, I mean, even just the actual ERAs, other than this year with Houston in 2022, it just never really put up the best numbers. So, I don't know. I mean, in the 2 leagues I'm in where saves matter, I saw he was picked up immediately. I was considering it, but I feel like Riley O'Brien is still the guy I want to own if I have to, but I think also more telling is just that this is going to be a disgusting situation that I really don't want to deal with, but we'll see. Speaking, I guess, in the same game of weird closer situations, and I guess this really shouldn't have come as a surprise to anybody, but the Rays, so with Edwin Uceda out, people are obviously assuming Griffin Jax would be the guy, and then also consider Garrett Clevenger, and both of them enter in the 6th inning. So Rasmussen exited after 5. I think it's just Ian Seymour. Yep. Just completely imploded. 5 earned runs without even recording an out. And then Clevenger comes in, gives up 2 runs. Then Jax technically blew the save, even though it was only in the 6th inning. So who knows what's going on there. I honestly think maybe based off this, it wouldn't be bad to stash Edwin Uceda. If you're in a league with IL spots, Jonathan Aranda homer, that was nice. If I were to do an episode of people I wish I had on one of my teams, he would definitely be on there, dude. I think dude's really good. So that was frustrating. Moving to the Nationals, this may be overthinking it a little bit, considering it was not a save situation. So the Nationals were up 8-4 going into the 8th inning, and we saw Clayton Beeter enter in the 8th. 2 walks, we got a strikeout, no earned runs or anything like that. But then it was Cionel Perez came in the 9th. Like I said, maybe nothing, but if you're just in a league really desperate, like a 15-teamer, NL only, something like that, or you just have a spot to mess around with, maybe wouldn't hurt to pick them up if you're just trying to get cheap saves early on. Uh, the Angels, I feel like this one was pretty cut and dried, especially after the Kirby Yates injury. Drew Pomeranz came in the eighth. Perfect inning, and then Jordan Romano got the save in the ninth. Obviously, he has tons of experience, even if last year was pretty rough. I still don't think it would be bad to stash Kirby Yates. A lot of people might already be. What was the other one? Oh, yeah. This one I think is actually kind of notable. So Ryan Helsley got the save. That made me feel good. I got him in one league. But for the Twins, so they lost 2-1. And Taylor Rogers came in the eighth inning, and there was a note. I think it was on CBS or maybe it was on here, but that Cole Sands, who we talked about on the show before, was warming up ahead of Taylor Rogers. I don't know if this note was set. Yes. It was a high leverage situation, but Cole Sands was warming up in case the Twins tied the game or had a lead. I think that part's kind of presuming. But either way, he was definitely warming up ahead of Taylor Rogers. So I could still see a committee there, but I definitely think you should get Cole Sands if you have a spot to play with. And then I think that was pretty much it for the closer stuff. The Athletics have not played yet, so still kind of waiting to see there. What was the other MLB or ESPN closer chart? I think there was one more team. Trying to think of a shot at Kelly Jansen. That's funny. Oh yeah, the Paul Sewald. There was a note. Which this one, I should have known this one from a mile away because I was even talking about how Sewald closed games in the past for Torlovolo. And yeah, he indicated Thursday that Sewald was likely to get the first chance to serve as the team's closer. Now, granted, he is coming off not the best season, mostly kind of due to injuries, but he's shown good stuff in the past. Definitely think it's still worth at least looking at Kevin Ginkel, but probably not rostering him. So, yeah, if you're able to get him late, I think that was a really good pickup. Okay, let's look at the closer chart. So, yeah, like I said, the Athletics still needs to shape out, if it even does. Cade Smith got a save. That was nice. I don't remember if I talked about this. This was a few days ago, but Victor Vodnik, this was on Tuesday, where the Rockies manager indicated that Vodner could be first-line service closer. He got a save in a Monday exhibition game. And the manager noted that, quote, we're going to see a lot of that this year late in the game. So it is the Rockies, but saves are saves. They also, I'm pretty sure, sent down Seth Halverson, if I'm saying that right, which I think a lot of people considered, they optioned him. So a lot of people were considering him to be the other potential option during spring training. So I don't really necessarily feel good about it, but I actually did pick up Victor Vodnik in this league. That's who I dropped Matt Swanson for. So we'll see. Going back to the closer chart, I guess technically this could play out, but I feel like most people are probably already rostering Urseg, maybe even Matt Strahm. I have Matt Strahm in one league. Let's see. I guess technically, I mean, who knows? I would like to think Trevor McGill would at least get it to start. I mean, the dude, he's dealt with injuries, no doubt, but I mean, the dude's an all-star. I can't remember. Yeah, it was just literally this past season. It was an all-star. Sub-3 ERA each the last 2 years. So we'll see. I'm a little skeptical about how much Uribe will actually use as a closer, but we'll see. Yeah, apparently, I mean, they've said that. I haven't really seen too many people pick up Soto. I guess Ethan did during the show on Tuesday, which was kind of crazy, but yeah, I mean, even the ESPN closer chart's calling this a closer by committee, but they're now adding Ryan Stanek. Okay, yeah. So still a couple situations like the Twins we technically don't know, and then the Athletics have yet to play. I feel like it's probably Hogan Harris, but maybe that's also me just saying that because I got him on a team. I don't know if I have Sterner. I don't think I have Sterner on any teams. Beyond that, I mean, I guess really the only other thing to note was the Skeens. Now, I will say O'Neal Cruz definitely was pretty bad out there, but I also watched some of the. I mean, I feel like his control was off, or at least just they were good at bats. He walked a couple guys, but yeah, I mean, only 5. I mean, didn't even get out of the first inning, which is pretty rough, especially for a first-round pick. But there are definitely better days ahead for Paul Skeens. Same with Aaron Judge. I mean, we talked about him on yesterday's episode, but everybody going nuts about the golden sombrero. I'm not too worried about it, obviously. Heading into today, I would say what's a game I'm excited for today? Mike Burrows is pitching for the Astros. I think that will be a good matchup to see. I'm excited for the Athletics, not only just to see how the closer situation could potentially play out, but I also just have I have Brent Rooker in 2 leagues, Nick Kurtz in one of them, Jacob Wilson in all 3 leagues. He's literally the only guy I have across all 3 teams. Soderstrom. So big believer in the Athletics, at least their offense. So then also maybe we'll watch the Tigers tonight. I'll be excited to see Framber Valdez make his debut with the team. I also do have Michael King on a team. Actually, is that Hundo? Yes, it is. So hopefully it'll be a nice pitcher's duel that the Tigers can eke out. But so that'll be a good matchup. Colorado and Miami. Yeah, I'll be excited to see how Alcantara starts off the year. Cole Reagans versus Chris Sale. That's a really good matchup. Gavin Williams. I do have Gavin Williams on a league, so yeah, a lot of good matchups. Definitely excited. It was fun to watch. There is just something about baseball starting up again. It's always been my favorite sport, as I've mentioned on the show, and so it was fun to watch the Tigers. I do think it's cool, too, how they're doing, at least the Tigers. I think there's some other teams doing this as well, but the whole Detroit Sportsnet thing that you can just pay, even if I think $20 is maybe a little high, the fact I can just pay $20, I can just watch Tigers games. That's all I want to do. I don't want any other packages, don't want cable. So I think it's kind of cool they're at least offering it that way. And I was able to download the MLB app on my smart TV. I thought it was very simple. I will say the FanDuel app they were using the last couple of years ran very poorly. So I thought the stream was good. Yeah, so that was good to see, that it just seemed a lot more streamlined, a lot more simple. So, well, that's pretty much all the time we have for today. I appreciate you joining me for this kind of recap of the season. Like I said, we're in full gear now, so checking these closer things, I'm going to be on it. Probably frustrated the whole way. Like I said, there's probably going to be some reliever for the Athletics that I've never even heard of that'll get the save against the Blue Jays tonight. But, yeah, we'll do that. Hopefully, once we really start to get in the season, buy low, sell high type stuff, trade probabilities. As Ethan mentioned on Tuesday, we'll hope to have him in at least once a week, maybe more, to kind of get his thoughts on things. So I didn't see how his team did yesterday. Why don't we look at that before we get out of here, in case we got to mess with him a little bit. Actually, I got to be careful because unfortunately one of the team names has just some profanity in it. So we'll do it this way. The King of New York. Okay, so he has Aranda. I forgot that. So he got a homer. Other than that, his offense didn't do anything. Pitching was all right. Logan Gilbert was not too bad. Honestly, this kind of reminds me of a lot of the starts he had I had him in Hundo last year and dealt with some injuries. It was kind of a weird year. He got a lot of Ks, more than he usually does. But yeah, he just wasn't going deep into starts. And then Yamamoto was doing Yamamoto thing. So, okay, now the show's really done. So thank you guys for joining in for another episode of The Warning Track. I hope you guys have a great weekend, watching plenty of baseball, and we'll be back for another show on Monday. Till then, see you.
Watch out, it's the Warning Track.